Hello everyone, I am back today with another process video, and this one is in my summer kit series. So I'm working on my July summer layouts. If you've been watching this series, you know what it's about. If you haven't watched any of it, go back and watch the June ones first, then come back for July. But what I did was I built a kit of stuff from my stash. All things related to summer, the outdoors, activities that I thought we'd do. And I've been going through this. I've used quite a bit. It looks like there's still a lot in here, but I've used so much already. I'm really happy with my progress. So what I'm working on today is a double page layout here, and I have quite a bit to do. So I have this photo as a 3x4. I don't want to put it here. I want to have something behind this. This is not what I'm going to use. This is from the layout that's on the other side. So I need something that goes with that. And then this was the only card from my kit that I pulled out for this because I knew I wanted to use it. I love this. This normally is not something that I like to have sort of be forced to use frames, but I do like it here. And I've already actually cut the photos that I want. I want that one there, I think, and this one here because we crossed the bridge first, then we were in the cross. So, or was it the other way? Well, either way, it doesn't matter really, but we have the bridge on our way there, and then as we approach town, we saw the water tower. So I want to use those, and then it leaves me a nice little area for journaling. And then over here, wait a minute, I have photos that are supposed to go here. Oh, I forgot them. They're over by the side here. Sorry. I have two photos here. I want to use this one for sure. This one I'm undecided because it would require me to do a flip. I could put them here and do this, but that doesn't work with the timeline. I don't want to show a building before we actually even get to town. So that's why this is over there. So if I use the back one, then I have to find another card to go in between. And I know with what's left in my kit, I do not have a 4x6 that's going to work for that. So I would either have to find one in my regular stash or build my own. So I'm not totally convinced I need both of these. I do really like the look of this because on the awning, it shows the name of where we had lunch. That's where we're kind of going here. We were walking the streets in La Crosse and then went to lunch. So I do like the fact that that's in there, but I could sacrifice it if need be. I'm thinking I want to work in some of the darker blue here with these because it appears in multiple places, especially if I use this. I've got this long blue awning here. Other than that, I'm thinking gray because there's gray on this building. There's some gray here, and then this card has a gray background, but that's all I got so far. I put the photos down on this one because I figured do the easy stuff first, right? So I have that. Then I'm going to pull out these little embellishments and things because I know there's, I can kind of see it peeking out. I know there's a gray tab in there that I could probably use somewhere on this side to bring in that gray. And there might be some dark blue in there too. There's one dark blue star on here, so I'm going to pull that just in case. I don't really know how much other dark blue and gray I have in here. Oh, I have these. That's probably way too big. We were not with friends, we were with family. Maybe this, depending on what else is there green? There is some green in there, so maybe that. But I've got that dark blue. So I think that's the only thing that's obvious to me. Yeah, so I think I'm going to start with that and just see how it goes. When I was looking at all of this, I felt like I still did not have enough blue. I feel like there has to be a darker blue to kind of anchor some of this, or it's going to look random. Well, I don't have anything else 4x6 in my summer kit that would work, but I did have this one. This is an old set from Stampin' Up. I forget what the name of it is, but it was travel related. And I was thinking about this. Now, it might be kind of crazy because that is a loud stripe, but I kind of like it. And I'm wondering if maybe like I put a little vellum on the side, it would tone it down, or some washi, just like a plain washi to offset the photo. I don't know, something, but I like the look of that blue. And then if I work in these, it won't look so odd, I think, just to have them stand out. So I think I'm going to go for it. That means though that whatever I put over here, I think I have to go gray so that I have this in opposite corners. So once again, I had to go into my regular stash to find a card since there was nothing in my summer kit specifically that matched. I have this one. And I think this came like from the Project Life app or something, and I put it on this gray background for some reason. But whatever, I like it. It matches that not perfectly, but well enough that I can use it, and it tones down all the blue and gives kind of that neutral gray as a foundation, which I like. So I think this is what I'm going to go with. I'm ignoring the flip for now to see if I really need it, and I'll think about what I need in there later if I choose to use it. I did decide to use that striped star there. I really like the way that looks, and it kind of mimics the stripe here. Even though this is slightly diagonal, I think it's okay. And then I decided I am going to try the vellum, and I found just this scrap piece. It's a little bent on this end, but I'll use this end. I'm going to cut it just a bit wider than this, put it under there, and just see how it looks. I decided that I liked the way just a little bit of vellum peeking through looked with that. And so I put it on here. It's a slightly off-center design because that leaves me room to embellish over here. Like I could do something at the top maybe or bottom and then do the opposite on this side if I want, or I can just do this side and leave this alone. I was looking at this sheet and I've already used quite a bit of these, but I like this green circle. There is green here, right here, in the trees over here, plus in there. So I feel like this needs more green because this is pretty small. So I think I'm going to take this and tuck it in sort of at the bottom right here. I don't want it exactly across from the star, but down here I think would be good. And then that sets me up for a visual triangle to put something, I don't know that I'd like it right under here, but maybe down here overlapping or here. It gives me options. From my bag of little embellishments and phrases that I had, I pulled out what I thought would work. There was nothing green that would work with this, so I didn't have that option, but I pulled out all the blues and then some grays. Now, I like the idea of this, but I already have a circle there and I'm not sure I like how that looks. However, if I decide to use this back photo, I could keep it for that and maybe do something with it, but I definitely want to use this because I forgot that this had stars on it. I knew it was gray, but I didn't know there were stars, and that works with that. I'm also thinking then that I probably need to work in a star here somehow. I would prefer gray, and I don't think I have a gray one, but I probably have a stamp somewhere where I could stamp it in gray if I needed to. But for this, I don't want this directly under there, so I'm considering switching these. It would still allow me to have a triangle. It would just be more narrow, but I would get it here. So I think I'm going to go with that. So I attached the tab here, and then I also decided to add in this blue flag that I had in my blue stuff down here that says Our Vacation, and just use that instead of writing something there. I may get creative and add something here instead of writing too. Not sure yet. I do think I want to use this other photo. So that means that I need to find something to go in between. I think my best bet is to go into my gray scraps of paper and just build something essentially. I also still have this chunk of vellum left, so if it's a wild pattern or something, I could possibly tone it down with this. And then I still have this if I want to add that somewhere too. When I went into my stash of gray scraps, I found two things. I found this chunk of just gray cardstock. It's not exactly the same as these, but I think when this is flipped open, it won't matter. It's close enough, so I'm going to use that. Cut it to 4x6. I also had this in there, which is 6 inches across, which is perfect. I may use it as is, or I may trim it to make it a little bit narrower this way, but I want to use it across the card somehow. I still may use this just to soften it up a bit. And then instead of using this, I need to work in something blue. I did save this label as well as this little arrow up here that says summertime, so I might be able to use those too. All right, this is what I have built so far. I've got my gray 4x6, I've got the vellum tucked behind, and I've got that striped paper. And then I had this label in there, and I wasn't going to use it on here because I liked the green, but the trees didn't work with what I was doing. Then I realized, what if I cover it up? I can use this label covered up like this, and it's got that little pennant flag part peeking out, and then it works in the green with the rest of the stuff. So I think I'm going to do that, and then I will stamp something in the label. I did my stamping and I placed this where I want it, and this is the stamps that I used. Originally I wanted to use either Summer Vibes or Good Times, and they were just a little too big. They did not fit in there well, so I already had this out and I thought, well, what else would work? Wander Fit. And we were kind of just wandering around the Crosse, so that worked for the theme that I wanted. And this set, does it say? Oh, it does. It's called Summer. It's from Felicity Jane. It's quite old now, 2017. So don't know that you can still find it, but if you want it, that's what it's called. I discovered that on that same stamp set, there was a little star. So I pulled that off, and now I'm going to do the star in there in gray ink, and I'm using my very old Going Gray from Stampin' Up. So I went to load my photo flip just now to get it ready, and I realized I made a boo-boo. This is not going to fit in here with that tab. Yeah, that doesn't work. So oops, so I'm going to have to switch these. This is going to end up being the back, and this is going to be up front, which, you know, I hadn't planned on that. That isn't what I really wanted to do, but if I want to include everything, it's what I have to do now. And when I have this on there, that will still peek out. It'll look just like that. So, I mean, it still works in terms of design, so I'll just roll with it. So I've put this one all together now, and I did add some things. On this one, I decided to add the blue star that was here. And then I just added a green rhinestone star on top of it just to bring in more of that green. And then I felt like this card was a little blank on this side, so I did stamp Days Like These, and that came from the same set here. So I got really lucky that I was able to use a lot of things on there. So here's the layout all put together. Oh, and you know what? I actually did add a staple there as well. So, whoops, my stuff is falling out everywhere. So this one is done, and this one took more work than I thought with having to add this in and to move some things around and build my own card, but in the end I think it's worth it. I'm really happy with it. So thanks for watching, and here's another one done with my summer kit.